on Saturday. They're a better team. And then when Jackson Hayes didn't play and Rui didn't play and you lost all your size, it's in your length, it's like, yeah, this isn't going to work. Lakers have had a hard schedule, flying cross country. They ran out of gas in the second half. Boston's a better team. In my opinion, Boston's going to win a championship. The second best team in the league is Cleveland. It'll be a 6 or 7 game series. I'll take Boston. But there was a moment when LeBron in the second half, got hurt. A lot of people were giving him crap. There wasn't much of an injury. You want to know my theory on this? I have a theory on this whole thing with LeBron, and I totally defend him. So he's been carrying the Lakers all season at 40 years old. Young Austin Reeves has missed time. Young Jackson Hayes has missed time. Semi-young Rui Hachimura has missed time. Dorian Finney-Smith isn't young, but he's missed a lot of time. Luka, who got torched in the first half against the Celtics, he's still playing himself back into shape. And LeBron got a little tweak and said to himself, Daddy's going to take a couple weeks off. And I don't blame him. I think it's remarkable that LeBron isn't more bitter about having to carry this roster this year. He's 40 years old. He looked at the schedule and said, 6 games in 8 days? And the young guys are telling me they can't play? I'm going to pull up to my March mattress. Okay? Forget it, guys. I don't blame him at all. I carried us to a number 2 seed. Luka's not even in shape, and he's a liability defensively, and he got torched against Boston for most of the game. LeBron leads the Lakers in minutes, second in game played, and he's 40. And Austin Reeves is missing time, and Rui's missing time, and Jackson Hayes is missing time. And I'm the old guy on my team. If my young, vital, dynamic, virile, dynamic staff was missing as much time as some of these guys missed for the Lakers, I'd be bitter too. I'd be taking Fridays off for the next 2 years. And LeBron's carried the franchise. So I'm not saying LeBron isn't hurt a little. When you get older, especially like calf injuries or groin injuries, like sit it out. But LeBron in the first half, they've gone through a rough stretch. This is the roughest stretch for the Lakers in terms of their schedule. He gave you 14, 8, and 7. And Luka did a lot of watching. Players drive by him. And so I'm 100% with LeBron saying, and I'm not saying he's faking it. I'm saying he could probably play after 2 days off. If you look at the schedule, they don't play like 1 game in the next 4 or 5 nights. And then they got an onslaught of Denver Nugget games. This is the perfect time. You'll see this with really great baseball teams. You'll see this with like the Dodgers or the Phillies in August. And all of a sudden, a pitcher sleeps on the shoulder and he's like, I'm going to take a couple of 4 starts off because he's getting ready for the postseason. I don't have a problem with it. And here's LeBron after the game on his groin injury.
Can you point to a play or sequence that caused the
Yeah, it was the last play. The last score I had spun on Jaylen Brown. For me, they extended it a little bit too much. A couple pivots, and then when I landed, I felt it. So that was the last play I scored on. Not much concern. Obviously, we're going to day to day look at it each day, see if it gets better, and then take the proper measurements and see what we need to do going forward.
Yeah, Daddy's taken a couple of weeks off, and it's well-deserved. By the way, the Bucks have re-signed Chris Godwin, Hassan Reddick. So Jason Light, one of the smarter GMs in the NFL with Tampa, is getting his guys signed. That's why I said what I said 15 minutes ago. This week is an indictment of bad front offices, and it doubles down on the good ones. The good ones are re-signing their guys. It's good for culture. They know the system. You don't have to overpay on somebody you don't know absolutely fits personality and playing profile. J-Mac.
Rodgers, still waiting. Interestingly, Colin, we like to kind of try to read the tea leaves out there. There's it doesn't seem like there's a big market for Aaron Rodgers, or they're keeping it super quiet. The Giants seem to think he could stay in New York and play for them. The Seahawks, they need a quarterback. The Steelers need one. And I don't know if I buy this, the Minnesota Vikings are a dark horse. I don't know. I feel like that's a reporter throwing a dart. Come on. You think he's following Brett Favre from the Jets to the Vikings? No way. There's no shot he's doing that. No way.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be embarrassing. Come on.
Well, that wouldn't be
You're
embarrassing.
following Brett Favre. What's wrong with you?
Well, you know what?
Carve your own
I mean,
path,
that's like saying, well, I mean, Luka followed AD to Los Angeles, and Shaq,
It was a trade.
Shaq followed great Laker players to Los Angeles. LeBron followed Shaq to Los. Listen, there's a lot of great NBA players that want to play for the Lakers.
Oh, yeah? Everybody wants to play for the Vikings, huh?
Well, Kevin O'Connell's a damn good coach.
Stop.
If I was Aaron Rodgers and I got to pick a team of the 3 or 4 I'd want, Minnesota.
Well, yeah, that of course.
Yeah. So if Aaron talks his way into Minnesota, I'm not blaming Aaron at all. I get Justin Jefferson. I get that coach.
I would rule out Seattle because it seems like they're rebuilding, right?
Yeah,
they moved off Geno, DK, and Locke.
This all comes down to numbers. I've been told the Seahawks. I was told this last week. Seattle wasn't going to re-sign Geno. I was told last week the Seahawks wanted Sam Darnold. But if Darnold's going to say $43 million and Aaron's going to say a lesser number, they may go Aaron. I'm told the Seattle situation is all about the number.
So the Vikings won 14 games last year with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
You think he's going to go to like a 6-win team just to chase a couple bucks? Like $10 million extra?
I think Seattle's roster, I said this morning to the team. When Tom Brady went to Tampa, the coach and the roster were fine. They couldn't get quarterback right. I like the coach in Seattle. I love the GM, and I think the roster is really good. I think they have a quarterback situation. I think they thought Geno wanted more money than the Seahawks were willing to go. And I think Darnold's a better version of Geno, but they're similar in terms of size, mobility, and recklessness. So I think it comes down to, I've been told the Seahawks want Darnold, but the numbers got to be right.
I mean, listen, if you're paying me $45 million a year, sure, I guess I'll go to Seattle. But the Seahawks are clearing cap space. I don't know if you saw this. They have the most cap space next year in the league. Now, this isn't the NBA. You can't go out and get Giannis. You know, there really isn't anyone to go spend all that cap space on. So do they take a quarterback now? Do they soft tank?
Well, DK
the
Metcalf.
Only quarterback on their roster.
Pittsburgh's paying all the DK Metcalf salary, so they can look at it that way.
Yeah.
I don't think cap's going to be a problem for Seattle. I think Darnold's a better Geno, and I think they felt they hit a ceiling. But the players that are now out there, the quarterbacks, it's all a number business. Yeah. If Aaron Rodgers says, hey, I just want to play with a better roster, Aaron would do very well in Seattle.
You think Seattle has a better roster than Pittsburgh?
No, but I've been saying the Steelers have a top 5 roster for 5 years. I don't think they have that kind of, but I don't think it's a mile behind. Both teams have 2 good running backs. Both teams have offensive line talent. Both teams have receiver talent. Both teams have an edge. Both teams have a very good interior defensive lineman.
Okay, final question. NFC West.
Yes.
If Darnold or Rodgers were to go to Seattle, rank the teams in that division. Go ahead.
Rams are going to win it. Niners second. Seattle third. Arizona fourth.
You sure Seattle third? Positive? I think Arizona's probably going to have a